प्राकृतिक रूप से गर्भधारण करने में असमर्थ जोड़ों के लिए IVF आशा की नई किरण है। अपोलो फर्टिलिटी ने दिल्ली के लाजपत नगर में अपना नया IVF केंद्र शुरू किया है। इस केंद्र के उद्घाटन अवसर पर कृति गर्ग IAS, डॉक्टर अश्वानी कुमार IAS, मदन मोहित भारद्वाज, अनुभव प्रशांत तथा डॉक्टर श्वेता गुप्ता उपस्थित थे। देखिए क्या कहा अपोलो फर्टिलिटी के बारे में।
In terms of popularity, I would like to feel that this is sort of acceptability of this kind of treatment for awareness, and yes, with improving frameworks of governance, the patient outreach has got a new dimension. So we wish the Apollo Group a lot of best wishes. The team very warmly showed me around the facility today, explained to me the different aspects of treatment. And as I said earlier, it goes a lot into patient confidence building, because somebody going into this sort of treatment undergoes a lot of apprehension time to time. And I think what best helps is a very strong patient-doctor relationship that defines every faith in every stage of treatments. So with a wonderful facility and a wonderful team on board, I hope this facility, this venture will have a great success ahead. So congratulations to the team and congratulations to everybody who is here today.
Whenever we do any IVF, there is one thing is called basic assessment. So it's not just that someone has referred you do as a clinician, you do a basic workup. So we do the testing for the females, we just do the testing for the male, and then we make sure that everything is okay to go ahead with IVF in that particular patient. So that safety check and that basic assessment, of course, we follow. Now the question is, I think what you're trying to ask is whether these injections can cause tumor. No. It's a relatively safe. If somebody has a anyway history of family history of malignancy, or somebody has had, so that can be there, but not because of as someone just mentioned, 9 million babies have been already born. So it's a long it's a big number, and that too worldwide. So you may say that in India the documentation is a little weaker, but in some of the countries every IVF case is documented, and every outcome is documented in Western part, which is going to start here in India as well with the help of this new ART Act. So in a new ART Act, every case will be registered, every outcome, every complication. So I think it's then we will develop the Indian data as well. And not only the government, a lot of the big centers, fertility doctors, now they're working, and even the IFS, they're working on creating and working on Indian data. So see, India is a little different than Western. We used to read, and now also read Western. So now in a year or two we'll have Indian data, and I think that will help the government to prepare more realistic policies, and more the policies which are very much applicable for the Indian population. So yes, it's safe if done at the right center in a right way.
What facilities will be?
And just to add here, because humans are, we have genes, and genes are different. Like you said, we study, or doctors refer to Western data. We are working on Indian. An Indian gene pool, the Asiatic gene pool is different. So now there are advanced treatments like PGS, pre-genetic testing, screenings, diagnostics, which the doctors also use. So in certain cases, like you said, there is a genetic or hereditary disorder which is there. Now the doctors also have the capability of weaning out those abnormalities before they go ahead with the IVF treatment.
Genetic diagnosis, that means if anyone has a family history of genetic disorders, we can do a workup first, and in that case when we create embryo, we can see in each embryo which carries the abnormal genes, and we can discard. So this is so much good for the couple, because later they don't have to go termination, or later they don't have to have a child with abnormality. So this is another advancement of the IVF, where you can do a selection of normal chromosomal or genetic which the family has been suffering for years.
That you do at the lab stage?
Yes, lab. When you take out the embryo, when you make, you take out the egg and sperm, you make embryo, then we reach up to day 3 or day 5, and then you do that genetic testing, with all the counseling and all the, you know, in the proper way, and then you know which embryo has the disease, which embryo doesn't have, and the one which is a disease free, we put it back.
Ma'am, I think number of IVF center in Delhi and outer area. So how the people can understand that this is the right place and right time to come over here?
So I think that is, you know, where the ART Act has come. So one has to see whether the, you know, they are registered with, they are registered center. And the registration is, and this is the first time in India that these national boards or the state level boards, they're actually going to visit, they're going to inspect. Earlier we used to have only ICMR where the guidelines were there, they never actually visited. So now with this act, they will visit and then they will say, yes, this is registered. Then a doctor, then a couple knows that, you know, this is a registered center by the government and one can visit there. There will be regular monitoring by the team, which is, you know, the boards formed by the government, and so there is a check. There is a check by the government, and of course, you know, there can be different levels of centers. Like, you know, the bigger centers will probably keep all the latest advances that a patient can, you know, visit and can check the websites, and you know, then they can come forward for the treatment.
Ma'am, what facilities will be provided in this center?
So this is a complete center. This is a sort of, you know, we have the basic, right from the basic evaluation, fertility evaluation, or like for fertility preservation, somebody just wants to freeze egg or sperms. From there onwards to, you know, the advanced technology, we also have the micro-teaser where the male factor infertility is there and they want to take out those occasional sperm. We do have those facilities. We do have technology like, you know, the other time lapse and other advances. PGT also we have. So it's a complete one-stop solution for anyone. You know, it's going to be one of the best centers. It already has all the facilities. So we have all.
मैम आपसे क्वेश्चन बनता है कि लोग समझ नहीं पाते IVF और सरोगेसी, इसमें क्या डिफरेंस है?
IVF is simple in vitro fertilization. So surrogacy is when we transfer that embryo in a third person. So egg किसी एक का है, sperm है उस कमिश्निंग कपल का, लेकिन हमने बिकॉज क्योंकि उस लेडी के वूम में कोई प्रॉब्लम थी या वो मेडिकली अनफिट है पूरा प्रेगनेंसी को कोप करने के लिए, तो वो थर्ड पर्सन के अंदर डाला जाता है. यानी एक तरीके से वुमेन का जो वूम है बच्चेदानी को रेंट पे लिया जाता है और वो डिलीवर करके वो वापस बेबी उस कमिश्निंग कपल को डिलीवर करती है. तो IVF की टेक्नोलॉजी जब भी यूज़ होती है, लेकिन वो डाला जाता है वो सरोगेट के वूम में.
NCR करंट न्यूज़ को सब्सक्राइब करें और नोटिफिकेशन सबसे पहले पाने के लिए दबाएं बेल आइकॉन.